And a happy what the hell everything day. Hey guys, how are you? Coming up on the podcast, a lot of fun stuff. But first, before I get to that, let me get to the Patreon page, patreon.com/we the number 3 Smiths, all sorts of fun stuff. Lots of extras, including funding for the Smitty Learns Irish Pubcast, which is my new favorite thing. 100%. Patreon.com/we the number 3 Smiths. And can't thank you enough. What the hell everything. What the hell everything? And welcome to the What the Hell Everything podcast. My name is Smitty. Recording day and time, Monday, July 5th. Time doesn't really matter. It's Monday, July 5th, and that's all you need to know. Wrapping up a great 4th of July weekend. Nothing really changed, especially for me, because I didn't go anywhere. I haven't left the house, like I said, since Thursday. I'm going to go to the grocery store. Maybe it was Friday. Who knows? It's just a fucking blur of days. But I said I'm not going to leave the house for 4 days. I got to leave tomorrow because I have to do some stuff with the new gig. And so I said, I'm not dealing with the whole Cherry Festival ruckus here in town. Fucking staying in. And I tell you what, I live with my brother Levi. When I say he's a culinary dick, like I got a beef tenderloin months ago, a beef tenderloin at Burritt's Market in Traverse City, and it's been sitting in the freezer. Well, it sat in the freezer for a long time, and then we thawed it out and then took half of it and cut it into fillets, mignons, just fat fillets. So we had a couple of those. There's like 3 or 4 left over, I want to say. And then the last, there was 3 pounds, 3 or 4, I can't remember. All I know is that Levi smoked that fucking beef tenderloin with whatever stupid marinade he put on it. And then got some ciabatta rolls, made some just fucking steak sandwiches with a Havarti cheese, which was so stupid. That's what it's like living with that guy. What the fuck else? Brussels sprouts, au gratin with street corn, and grilled pineapple upside down cake. Grilled pineapple upside down cake. There's something else. I don't remember. All I know is it's like that all the time. I really try to cook as less as possible. I still do on occasion, but I'm more of a casserole type of guy. You know? That motherfucker, I just say, here, I buy it. Because with the tenderloin, I'm like, you got fucking full reign. Have fun. And it's worth it. It's super expensive for beef tenderloin, though. Not to be the cheap guy, but I am over here dancing with irresponsibility. It was like $160 for that beef tenderloin. I'm like, well, I'm glad at the time. I was like, fuck it. Woo! Making it rain at Burritt's. Now I'm a little more frugal, but hey, I had a fucking beef tenderloin in the freezer. Got to use that in the fireworks. Now, I don't hate fireworks. I don't even hate people that use fireworks a lot. But here's the thing with my neighbors right now that are shooting off fireworks. Please not tonight. Fuck, please not. Please, baby Jesus, not tonight. Because like the last 2 nights, we'll get into that in a second, the last 2 nights. But first, prior to that, there was probably 2 or 3 nights before that even where they were shooting off fireworks. And they weren't just shooting off a couple or a bunch. They would shoot off like 3 or 4. But each one in the there's like a fucking 15 minutes to a half an hour where there's nothing. Just enough to fucking wake you up. For one reason, I don't know. What reason? That too? Man, that's the only reason, is just to be a dick. Is just to do it every half an hour, like a fucking bell tolling of fuckery over here. But I'll tell you, the last two nights. Last night, which was the 4th, and then the 3rd, the night before. Whew, man, I was just like, I'm never going to go over there. It's legal. And again, I don't have anything against the thing, but it was the first time I really realized like what people's problems with them were, because I've never lived in town up until the last year and a half. And I live right next to the airport. Get into the Biden visit in just a second. But I live right next to the airport, so fucking planes are taking off all the time, and they get pretty loud. It rumbles the fucking house. It doesn't really bother me. I sleep through most of the planes taking off, but I've had the window open for one. For two, it's like it seems like it's right outside the window. Like when I fucking thought they were doing it every half an hour, I actually got up because I'm like, it sounds like a firework, but I just heard one. Was that a gunshot? I actually got up to look one night. What the fuck's going on? Brother Levi didn't hear it. Then he heard it the other night, and he's like, oh yeah, it's fucking firework. But it's so loud. It sounds like a fucking just shooting guns right off next to my fucking head. Exactly like that. And all last night, especially. But the last 2 nights, it was just going and going. I'm like, how much do fucking fireworks cost? How much fucking money? How many fireworks were those? Because it seemed to be thousands of fucking fireworks. And I'm just like, patriotism is at an all-time high. Speaking of that, 420 break coming up a little bit later. Brand new 420 break later in the podcast. But I was here for the Joe Biden visit, came here with Governor Whitmer. So it was the second sitting president in 8 months, 9 months, 7 months, however fucking long it was since Trump was here, along with Pence just before the election. So we're in the unique position of living in a town where 2 sitting presidents for 2 back to back like that. Small town areas, not like big town. We're small town, rural northern Michigan, but it wasn't the same amount of fuckery. Last time I had just car standstill traffic in front of my house for, I don't know, it seemed like a half an hour. And I'm like, oh, this is just disgusting. None of that this time because he wasn't in town. But I did get to see, for one, Air Force One takeoff, which was kind of cool. But what was even cooler were the Ospreys, the military aircraft. The Ospreys are so fucking rad. I'd never seen them before. And I'd only heard about them, but I've never really seen them. And I fucking saw them took off. It was so fucking gnarly. And I was just like, they look like drones, but they're not drones. They're totally fucking badass. But they were Ospreys, I would assume, giving air support to the Joe Biden motorcade. So very little amount of fuckery at that one. So that was good. That was good to know, because who knows what the fuck people are thinking anymore. Talking to Brother Levi about it, you had those fucking dipshits in Massachusetts. And I don't really know many of the details. Surprise, surprise, surprise. But here's what I do know about that standoff in Massachusetts. It was 11 people. They refer to themselves as a, quote, militia and state, that they are, quote, Moorish sovereign ideology. Moorish sovereign ideology. I don't know much about that. It sounds fairly treasonous, and it sounds treasonous later in the article. The police said the incident started early Saturday when a trooper noticed 2 cars pulled over on I-95 with hazard lights on that had apparently run out of fuel. So they noticed these men heavily armed and asked for their driver's license and firearm permits. A couple guys ran into the woods. So I don't know how they're organizing, but they clearly can't comprehend things like a fucking full tank of gas to get where you need to get. I don't know if they got fun. They got enough funding for all those fucking weapons that they were nailed with, which was 3 AR-15 rifles, 2 pistols, bolt action, shotgun, short barrel rifle. There was a bunch of ammunition as well. They were supposed to be going to training, but they had all this stuff and they didn't have gas money. Fuck. So hopefully whoever is organizing these Emmy Award winners just continues to keep organizing as they have been. It'll be fucking great. Oh my God, Bill Cosby. Bill Cosby out of prison. And look, I don't know how real this is, but looks like he might be doing some stand-up comedy, apparently, according to his spokesman, Andrew Wyatt. Been talking to a number of promoters and comedy club owners, and just excited the way the world is welcoming him back. Who the fuck is welcoming Bill Cosby back? I haven't seen much on purpose and by design. But according to this promoter, people want to see him, and I'm sure there probably are. but it's got to be more like a train wreck sort of fucking thing. I'm trying to like think of like what responsible promoter, comedy promoter, or anything like that. Why the fuck they would book Bill Cosby? It is not the same thing as Louis C.K. It's just not. Like, there's a difference between being a serial rapist and asking a bunch of women to that if he can jerk off in front of them. It's different. It just is. But like responsible comedy or show promoters, that's just will end up being just some sort of sham mockery or something along those lines. Who the fuck is going to want to see Bill Cosby other than for the train wreck standpoint, which is still pretty terrible? I don't like seeing terrible things. Like, there's a lot of people that like to see terrible things. The terrible things that I want to see are like the really big terrible things. Oh boy, for the love of criminy. I can't, some things I just can't take, you know? Why do I put myself through this? It's just because it deserves mocking. That's the running theme on this fucking podcast. Whoever deserves mocking. And that includes the host. But I don't know which annual this is. Did they have one last year because of COVID? Did they cancel? I feel like they probably did, which is probably a reason why I saw there is probably always this many people at these fucking things. Through this order. Joey Chestnut won, I don't know how many this guy has won, but he ate 76 hot dogs.
Getting into his rhythm here early. He believes he
and I can't watch much of this because it just grosses me out.
Faced off against the Patriots.
It is
Butler, Nick Foles won.
One of the grosser things.
It is incredible to see that confidence. You're right, from one Nick to another.
76 hot dogs, I think, in like 9 minutes or something like that. Like, you're not even chewing. You're just not. There's nothing even close to like resembling enjoying your food. Now here's the thing. I am not better. I am not. There was a time I'm a fucking chronic overeater. All right. I'd done hot dog eating contests. But there's just anymore. That's the thing. You try to get better. I try not to be fucking stupid anymore. You know, that's the whole point.
Of coming into this contest.
So at some point, it should just be. It has to be the most childish thing that there are grown-up people trying to eat as many hot dogs as possible. That's the grossest, just example of humanity I can possibly think of. Maybe not that I can possibly think of. But it's tough to think of them anymore. I've never wanted so many people to choke at once. Like, I want all of them to choke and maybe not die. Like, that's probably harsh. But definitely learn some sort of lesson. Maybe you should fucking not just do that anymore. It's gross, and it's a terrible example to humanity. It's one of the reasons we're just fucked.
You can see all that buildup in.
This easily has to be the most terrifying video of a landslide that I've ever seen. And it's out of Japan. I'm not sure where exactly, but a landslide from a tweet from July 3rd where it starts out, you think everything is going to be okay. Like, yo, this stopped. Like, right here, it's sliding down the hill in the middle of the street down this hill in Japan. And, there's a car about to get washed away, but it stopped, so he's got a moment to get away. And you think, fucking A. And then, everything starts to go fucking wrong. Crash, bang, OMG. Like, that's honestly, a landslide has to be going to 80 miles an hour. And wiping out everything in its path. Here goes a house, just all of a sudden crumbles into nothing. Started out innocently enough. When I say innocently, it was in the middle of a fucking landslide. But you're like, this guy is good. Everything's gonna be okay. This guy got out. It's all good. It's pretty terrifying. But other than that, everybody got out unscathed. And then, no. Oh, my God. Man, I'm so glad I live in a place that, by and large, that doesn't happen. Although I live right on the fucking water, not on a lake, but I mean, there's so much water around us in the northern Michigan region that there is probably very possible that everything here just could get washed away. Oh, and by no means, shape, or intent did I intend this landslide story to have anything to do with this story about diarrhea. That is purely accidental. With by far the most important CDC recommendation that I've seen this year, probably ever. I don't care about COVID. I don't care about anything else. Don't swim or let your kids swim if they're sick with diarrhea. No shit. Yeah, no shit. That's the whole point of this. One person with diarrhea can contaminate the entire pool. Learn more ways to keep you and those who care about healthy, whatever those fucking websites are. Oh, man. Thankfully, I don't think I've ever been in a pool with any diarrhea. Boy, what a fucking nightmare that would be. Just to see that brown cloud. It looks like Jaws bit into a kid filled with poop. Okay, look, I saw this YouTube video and I said, I want to watch this. I think this could be entertaining to watch on the podcast. It sounds really cool. Or could it be just one of those cases where it's just really cool to me? Either way, I guess I'll have to take it. It is from the YouTube channel Quantum Tech HD. And the all I know about this is from the headline where a man digs a hole in a mountain and turns it into an apartment. He digs an apartment into the side of this fucking mountain. So let's just watch this video and have fun with it. I bet that took so long. It's like his fucking mountain bag end, you know? Oh, his name is Mr. Tiger. I did know that part of the story too. Whatever. Some people could say his name is fucking Smitty. Sure. Man. Like, this is fascinating because I don't understand it. I don't understand architecture. I don't understand equations, and definitely you gotta fucking know equations to do that shit. It's been 6 weeks since he started the project. If you're listening on like Spotify or something like that, it's just incredible. He's literally carving this apartment out of... Dude, that's so fucking scary though. It's like you're really putting a lot of faith in yourself, and which I get and I appreciate, but you really got to trust your skills in that fucking in that endeavor. Doesn't show anybody else working on it. It might just be him. He's got to have help. That'd be the one where you're like, hey, you want to come help me fucking build my apartment out of this mountain? I'll bring beer and pizza. Like, hey, fuckface, like that's a big undertaking just to have your buddies help you. Plus, I would not trust any of my fucking friends to do any of that, except Mr. Dave Runyon, maybe. But he's probably fucking had too many head injuries. This is the, like, most super cool fucking undertaking. Like, it's way more impressive than this podcast. So, yeah, he's even got access to fucking outdoors. Obviously. He's not gonna trap himself in, you idiot. He's not a dwarf. I've watched a lot of Lord of the Rings lately. A lot of Lord of the Rings, a lot of The Hobbit. It's the second Lord of the Rings reference I've made in this fucking video, though. Without knowing it, and I'm not sure whether that's awesome or not. I'm sure it's not. Not even close. But hey, it's little things for me, you know? Man, he is really going into so much detail in this video. It is pretty ridiculous. Hand scoring, man, I don't even know these fucking terms anymore. There was a time in my life where I was into building and shit, and I was actually getting good at reading blueprints. I was close to being a mason, and close to being an electrician as well. And then everything fucking changed, and I went in the army, and fuck all that. You put the GI Bill to use and decided I would learn how to talk. But there was a whole point to what the fuck I was saying. Oh, I used to kind of know this shit, and I don't do anything hand handyman related. anything using tools, I'm like, fuck. I don't have screwdrivers. Like, I used to have a lot of tools throughout my life, and then don't even ask. Don't even ask what happened to those. Wow, he's getting his piping in, drainage in. Like, it's not just this little, it's not just this little, you know, little hut with nothing in it, a hole that he carved in the fucking side of the mountain. It's an actual apartment. Wiring he's getting in. Painting, I wonder if this, if that painting is used to withhold moisture that comes through. I don't know. I'm assuming maybe somewhat. But now he's putting some brick up. What is that? Is that a little oven that he's making out of that brick? It's on a bunch of logs. He's about 8 foot long. Chisel out. I would assume these logs are going to be used for some sort of support. Oh no, that's a bed. I'm wrong. He doesn't care if it falls in around him. Why did you make your fucking bed out of rocks too? Go the full 9, man. Mr. Tiger. Outdoor solar lights, charge battery, and switch on when dark. Now he's even fucking landscaping. This is where I end the video. I'm like, alright, I get it, dude. You're But actually, I kind of want to see the working kitchen and see if there's like a real retaining wall turned into a porch. So it wasn't a retaining wall. It was a porch. There you go, Smitty. I used to know. Oh, look at this fucking guy. Just making, what is this, a koi pond pool? Koi pond? Yeah. Shelving units out of logs. Aha, he is putting some support in. Golly. I'm like, well, I guess supports aren't gonna help if the mountain decides to come down, you know? Some nice shelving units that my cat would just love. And I bet you barely even need a fridge down there. Things stay cool, probably. I don't even know what region of, well, I don't know what region of the world this is in, so I don't know how hot it is. It looks fairly hot. Enough of this video. This guy fucking built an apartment out of a mountain, and he deserves some sort of applause. Moving on. This story is coming out of Italy, and actually can relate to it a little bit, being from a town that I live in, that's Traverse City in Michigan, northern Michigan, where, to say it's touristy, to put it mildly. I mean, we're in the middle of Cherry Festival. It's the biggest thing around. I think it goes from like 30,000 people damn near in Traverse City now. Maybe not quite 30,000 people in Traverse City now. But it goes to like 500,000 or something stupid during the fucking Cherry Festival. There's so many people here. None of them can drive. But I don't know if going to these lengths would make things better. In Florence, Italy, I've heard is a lovely area. The mayor of Florence, name is Dario Nardella, has signed an ordinance banning people from wandering around at night on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday evenings, you know, when all the tourists are hanging around. And I just thought that was fucking hilarious. Like, I don't really feel like that's gonna go over very well. Like, I really want to just actively follow how this works out and follow the local news in Florence, Italy, because I don't think that's gonna work out really well. What's the Italian version of "you can't tell me where I can go"? I have been waiting to watch this video since I saw it earlier today, and waiting with anticipation because it just looks fucking hilarious, and it's really fun to make fun of people from Wisconsin just for some reason, because it all stems from my hatred from the Green Bay Packers. I will casually admit it, but I can still make fun of people from Wisconsin for loving a shitty team. In Walmart at the Baraboo, Wisconsin, I don't know if I'm saying that right, the Baraboo, Wisconsin, where a Walmart employee tackles a deer who had made its way in. Oh my God. Just, you know they've done that before. You can tell they've done that before. You know, they're fucking wrangling deer in Wisconsin. Or whatever else. Fucking deer. It's like, ah, fuck. You know that somebody asked them, a close family friend asked them, why don't you just take that motherfucker for dinner? Fucking Wisconsin. Here's a great example of why we need to get over our fascinations with anything phallic. There's been this weird fucking fascination with phallic things now for far too long. And I know it's funny to talk and shoot the shit with your buddies about like things shaped like dicks and the Happy Gilmore thing where he's humping the things with the cones and it's shaped like a penis. Like, yeah, it's funny to a point, but at some point, like everything, you see all these weird news stories from all over the place about things shaped like dicks. And people need to fucking stop. Stop with the dicks. This particularly from a USA Today news story from 10 years ago, mind you. Somebody found it from 10 years ago, probably popped up on memories, and they were like, look, a dick! When it's not. It very clearly is a thermometer. Oh, excessive heat can take a toll, which, by the way, we'll get to that later. But that is very clearly a thermometer. It's the sun's hand on the thermometer that also insinuates the dick scenario. But stop it. This shit makes the news cycle. You know? It's not a dick. Leave it alone. I don't know if you've seen the video in the Gulf of Mexico of an undersea gas pipeline rupturing, and it looks like a fucking fire tornado in the sea. The sea is on fire. That's what it looks like. Man, oh man. That's what that underground pipeline, and it looks like fucking hell. It looks like literal hell in the middle of the fucking ocean. A vortex of fucking fire. Jesus Christ. It's just like I ain't no bleeding heart liberal or anything necessarily, but it's just, you know, the amount of man-made fuckery is out of control sometimes. There's another fire, another explosion at some oil well, I think. Let me see, actually, it's from a tweet from an explosion and fire at offshore Umid gas field in Caspian Sea near Baku. I don't know where the fuck that's at. But let's take a look at that, because fucking A, why not, you know? It looks like a nuke at night, if a nuke were to go off. And not the explosion, but the glow across it. It looks like it's not a cross, is it a cross? A cross? Yeah, it's in the middle of the sea. So it's across the sea. Man. Just this ominous, frightening glow on the horizon. Fucking A, people. People. And so many fucking insane stories, especially on like today's podcast with like the sea's on fire. What the fuck else? Nathan's hot dog eating contest. Yeah, I put it in this fucking category. What else? Those dipshits in Massachusetts. How fucking hot it is all over the place. Not to mention the fact that the infrastructure is going to shit. Like there was another Florida condo that basically ordered an evacuation, deemed everything unsafe. So all these old ass buildings that people are like, yeah, we think these are gonna fall down pretty soon, and everything is so fucked in this place because nobody wants to, like, I don't know what nobody wants to do. You can say you might know these things, but I don't fucking know. I don't know why everything is fucked. But it's just another example why this story makes so much goddamn sense. It's just talking about how this summer is our hellscape. And it reminds me of the Summer of Sam, the movie Summer of Sam, where the serial killer, Son of Sam, that was when he was roaming, is it 1978? It was very disco-y, so it was like 1978 or some shit. The Summer of Sam Spike Lee movie, where everything was at such a fever pitch because it was so fucking hot. There were racial tensions. There were And it was so hot, it was very reminiscent of this year, with just how hot it is right now with everything at a fever pitch. So reading down the story from Axios, Andrew Freeman, there was some shit in here that was fairly interesting. Just a few notes. Welcome to the summer of 2021 when scientists' steady drumbeat of climate change warnings have reached an all-too-real crescendo. I don't know how anybody can look around with a critical eye and brain and see it as anything other than climate change that scientists have predicted. Those are the models that I have seen when I first started reading about this sort of thing. This is kind of this exactly what they fucking thought would happen. And people, even people that are, they say, oh, it's not real, it's a hoax. It's like, how do you know? Like, why? I don't understand the idea that we don't want to be safe just in case. Like, it seems like that makes more sense. But I am a fucking firm believer that because I am a big fan of entropy. I love to see the system crumble. I mean, I would love to see everything crumble down and maybe get a chance to start over again because we've kind of fucked ourselves. But all this heat that is very man-made, like droughts in California, which has caused electric rail systems to cease operations at high temperatures. All of the weather's affecting the infrastructure as well with the grids like in Texas and shit, Things are going to hit like this real fever pitch. Hopefully we can get out of this fucking summer relatively unscathed. Golly gee whiz, it is just like, what? You wonder how it's going to go. It's like when I knew COVID was a big hit or miss, a big moment for us, when we all had to go inside. That had never happened to me before. Like, we've had other, like, H1N1, whatever, but I don't even remember those. They didn't even happen that long ago. In Canada, they're having, like, record heat waves of, like, I don't think it's 130, but it's, like, 118, 109. Some fucking insane shit in Canada that they've never seen heat like this. And you think about all that stuff, and you're like, oh, thank fuck, look at the clock. Time for your 420 break.
Should I be getting paid for this, boys? Water bomb's so smooth, you don't realize how high you're getting. Till it's too late. I am fucked up out here.
Now that Independence Day has come and gone, and I've had time to reflect on what being an American means to me, do you know how I like to celebrate patriotic holidays? By keeping it to my fucking self. Look, I'm not knocking good old-fashioned patriotism, but... Wait a second. I guess I am knocking it. Okay, I'm not knocking reasonable people's patriotism, but this insane, nationalistic, I have more and bigger flags than you bullshit has gotten too far, man. Don't get me wrong, I love our American flag. It gives me pride. It really does. But you know why I'll never have an American flag up wherever I live? Because I've heard too many motherfuckers say how shitty of an American I am if I don't fly it like them. And I have a real problem with anybody telling me what is and what is not patriotic. Half of the motherfuckers that are preaching about how goddamn patriotic they are about to switch their fucking colors to red and white anyway. The United States of America, fuck off. Like, I'm a veteran, and I served my country because I genuinely believe in service, in giving something of ourselves for the freedoms we're afforded. The freedom that includes that nobody has to prove their fucking patriotism to satiate some bullshit fucking fears and old-fashioned ideas. Like the national anthem at any sort of public event, including ball games. That old-fashioned idea. Yeah, can we get rid of that? What do you mean, take away the national anthem? That's my God-given right to make all the players show how much they love my country. It's always my country, by the way. It's never our country. Fuck right off. The anthem didn't start until the 50s when the whole proving your patriotism thing went into overdrive just to make sure none of them actors was communist. Around the same time, we started putting "In God We Trust" on our money and such, but don't get me fucking started on that. Actually, let me get fucking started on that. Since when was God Bless America required playing and standing at ball games? Now we have to prove our fucking belief in God to be a good American? Wrong answer. That's where you lose me. Luckily, I haven't been to any games where they've played God Bless America in place of Take Me Out to the Ball Game, in which case, A, double fuck off, or 2, play it before the national anthem. Either way, you're making people stand for something they shouldn't have to stand for, and it's fucking ridiculous. That's the one I refuse to stand for. Like, yeah, I'm about as atheist as you get, but that one's about general principle and really the basic principle of that awesome template of a document that we've had to revise and or amend however many times and however many yet times are to come because shit is still wrong. Oh yeah, and that fucking Lee Greenwood song. I've been at events on a professional basis that suggested everybody stand and face the flag for that bullshit false patriotic anthem, and I had to bite my fucking tongue to play along for paycheck's sake. But I almost took a knee for that one. Keep it to yourself, Churchy. That's your 420 break, and now you feel normal. And thank you for joining me on the What the Hell Everything podcast. My name is Smitty. Remember, patreon.com/we3 Smiths on YouTube, Spotify, and till next time, what the hell everything.
So long, sucker.
Good night, everybody!
I am so sorry for everything that has happened.
Neat. Bye-bye.
Yeah, all right, I'll see you guys there. Bought a bar and get your face, huh?
Get me paid, bitch!
Sit, boo-boo, sit. Good dog.
I love y'all very much! Peace out!
Good night, ladies.
What the hell everything?